All right, we're gonna continue working on drawing realistic portraits, and what I've done is I took carbon paper and I took a black and white photograph of my son Liam, and I traced right onto the carbon, so the carbon provided the outline here. So that's a little trick or cheat, whatever you want to call it, but it's a way to get the exact representation, and a lot of artists use that technique. And so I'm just demonstrating this for you. So that's how I did that. It's actually really easy because you're just tracing with carbon paper, and it gives you a likeness. Then when you want to start putting in the details, you get to decide which ones you want to focus on and how much time you want to put into it, and how realistic you want to get. So what I decided to do on this one, I'm going to go real simple, and I'm just going to do like hatching lines. And I'm gonna it's convenient when you're doing hair because the lines of hair are kind of like hatching lines anyways. So these won't, I'm approximating what I'm seeing in the picture, but I'm not trying to be super exact here. I'm just trying to quickly put in a few more dark and mid-tone lines to give some range of value that's similar but not exactly like what's in the reference photo. So that's that, and then I'll just continue doing that a few other places. I'm gonna try to just stick to outline and hatching lines for this, because sometimes I might tend to try to do blending and stuff. So I'm trying to make myself just do hatching lines. Sharpen that, make it a little easier. It's going to be hard for me to do that when I get to the eyes. I'm going to want to do something different. Let's see what it looks like if I use hatching lines all the way around here. Well, they start to get a little blended. Something like that. And then the nostril, same thing we're just doing. I'm just trying to make myself just stick with hatching lines and outlines. So you see more nose lines there. All right, what else? On the ear. Hatching lines, if you don't know, are just little parallel lines. That's all it is. Just little parallel lines to show the evidence of light. So it's a lot easier to do a drawing if you're doing a monochromatic drawing. It's a lot easier to do it from a black and white reference. If you're doing a black and white drawing, a monochromatic drawing from a color photograph, you have to think a little more while you're doing it as far as how you're gonna use value range to show color differences. If you don't see the color differences, you don't have to think about them. So it's easy now with technology to make a black and white photo out of All right, so now this little stick thing, I'm going to try to give it a little value range with hatching line still. I'm trying to keep myself from doing any other type of line. Okay, I do need to draw some more lines that I forgot or left out when I traced it. And if I'm doing hatching, it doesn't mean I can't have the lines be super close together and overlapping sometimes. But a few places where there's range of value on the arm. Show a little bit of value range there. Hatching lines are fun. Now, once you start seeing them and learning this as a way to shade, you start seeing it a lot of places, and it can make your drawings go a lot faster. Because you don't always need all the like micro details to make a believable drawing. And if you don't get the likeness accurate in the first place, then you can spend a lot of time on details, and if it still doesn't look like the person, then what's the point of all the details? Right? Okay, so next, now that you've got just a little bit of value range laid in, there's some more I could do in a few places, but the next thing is to think about where to show the contours of the face and how much. And sometimes it's nice to just leave it as it is. But little markers on a face give it a little bit more personality and make it a little more believable, but then you also start to risk making some weird marks that you just end up thinking look weird. So you have to decide. Definitely want to put something to signify eyelashes, even though they're little eyelashes that you can barely see. Just gonna thicken up. These spots a little bit. Now, there's some things on the face that might make this look better, but I'm a little hesitant. Kind of just want to leave it and call it done. So that's just a quick technique for getting a quick likeness in the drawing. You start with your drawing, put some carbon paper down, trace, and then decide how you want to layer up some of the range of value. Thanks for watching another one.